you know, your basic. It was just exactly what I needed to hear. Damn it, anyway.
Had a whole
Oh,
day of that.
So then I was thinking, in proper Carlos Castaneda terms, Trump is a very good teacher for us, actually. You can look at, I think don't want to be taught by him, but I think there are some lessons for us in that, in what's happening, maybe.
The best teachers are often look like they're really negative. I was actually having a conversation on LinkedIn with someone a bit about this, who they'd gone, oh, there was they got a load of hate speech or something, or that's how they've taken it to start with. And then as you kind of start looking at things, it's like I mean, sometimes it's you see how you don't want to be, but actually sometimes people amplify things so much that the world just goes, and you can't help but take notice. And really, is he just portraying the misogynist that lives inside us all? Because we all have these little parts and pieces, don't we? That um, I almost this group that group I was saying about, I almost felt like, oh, I feel we're in a time of really stripping away. That's what I felt really emotional this year. And I understand it on what like on one level I can go, well, that person died just before Christmas, or right on Viv's anniversary, and then we helped to nurse my neighbour with brain tumours who died just before, and that seemed to tip me over the edge a bit. But then I was like, we were really fucking positive through all of that. And we were kind of, and I was really honoured to be with my neighbour and be able to hold that space. So what is it? And I do think there's all these energies coming in. There's such a big turning over, and we're just ricocheting off that all the time. And maybe it's hard not to have the thinking, but it was like today. I was like, it's the lunar eclipse, isn't it? And it's a biggie. It's a real biggie. So I think we need to journey today, because this one is about really letting go.
oh,
It's about beliefs literally being. I almost feel like everything's being sucked out of me and everything, and it's all chaos and up here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to kind of go. It's boring me now.
yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
just,
I'm
we don't
happy to
need
let go.
beliefs. What if we hold a belief? It's like when we're holding gold for each other, isn't it? I want to be able to just hold gold for the world and for everybody in it.
Yeah.
Because that to me is that's the space in which all the Akash are gonna light up. Everything will be in alignment. Whereas if we keep getting dragged down into what we see as going on at that perceptual state of being in our grey mode and looking through grey eyes at the world, we're not going to change anything from there, are we? That's how I kind of view it.
Oh, Matt's on his way. Great.
We will wait for Matt then before we start.
I've got to figure out what time the eclipse is here.
Ours is overnight, so
Yeah.
Probably sites that say the precise time. I knew it was happening. I just didn't realize it was today. But yeah, today is a weird day. I didn't think I could. No, I wasn't sure I was going to be on the call. And it's funny because Matt made a comment a couple of days ago, and I've been in a really funny space since then, and it wasn't his intent, I'm sure, to kind of, nudge me into that space, but I was. And then I almost, I'm not even going to go down that. Point is, I think this is literally just where I needed to be anyway. And I think it's important that if he could, that he get on too. And so he was staying later at work and he was kind of getting roped into things. And I just messaged him after I heard you talking, and I'm thinking, I think maybe we're just in that space just because.
Yeah.
Emma, you are still softer by voice than everybody else.
I'll come closer. My
No,
voice.
you're fine,
I
Amber.
am.
Emma is known to be softer because I will turn up my volume for Emma and then I will turn it down for everybody else.
And it's like everyone's shouting.
No offense, people, but yeah, I don't know.
I know that's what I've been doing. It's like
So when I'm talking on this level,
really
very
soft.
quiet.
turning down the input, because when I tested this,
Oh, you're gone now.
yeah, it's because I've
Really
ended
soft.
the test.
Can't
You
hear you
me
at all
now?
now.
You can't hear me at all.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, you're
When
back.
you lean way forward, yes,
Okay, I'll have to stay close.
particularly for guiding us drumming on a journey. It's great to hear you.
Generally, when you see us go like this,
It's because
we're
we're.
trying to.
Yes.
I'm just gonna.
And usually it's my voice because I'm absolutely horrid in noisy settings, like bars. You can't hear me because I have just the right pitch and frequency to melt into the thing. And unless I put my lips right next to the person's ear and shout, nobody can hear me, which is very frustrating. So I thought it was me.
Let's just check that this is still working. Yeah, I said to Cece I spent an hour and a half trying to sort that out today. Ridiculous. So, not easy. But,
It's been really interesting, I think, because there's been, I literally felt like global, I don't know, I can't, I was thinking, am I making this up? Am I just like, but there's kind of like a proper, I don't know, like that. And then it's sort of mashing out over the world. And everybody I've spoken to has felt that and explained it in different ways, even people that aren't like necessarily so kind of on a spiritual journey. And it's been quite incredible. I don't remember another time like this, actually, personally, but
no, I don't think there ever has been. Hi, Matt. So glad you can join us.
Hello, thanks. I am happy to be here.
Cool.
That waving by Cece and Liz, that was for you.
Oh, okay.
For waving.
Yeah, yeah. I
Happy dance.
literally ran away from work before they could say no.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Put your foot down.
So, where are we at?
So we were waiting for you, but I decided because it's the lunar eclipse,
Mhm.
I thought we would do some drumming and go on a journey. And if you want, I can just drum and you guys can do what you want. Is that, or would you rather a guided jobby? What's people's?
My vote would be guided, but
Yeah. Okay. So, I did wonder whether it was worth us all going up to the Akashic records. Would people be interested in that? Yeah.
Sounds great.
Do people know what the Akashic records are? No.
I've heard of it, but I didn't know.
Okay, so So basically, it's the energetic imprint of everything that has ever been and ever will be. So it also holds future potential and past timelines and all of that, but it's not holding it in a way that's in a mental thing, it's an energetic. So you can almost think of it as being like, so something like, it's like a crystal grid that you can go and tap into, but it actually maps into your own DNA, and there's also a mirror of what is stored in the earth as well, because obviously there's that dual aspect, isn't there, of being human, I suppose, but it holds all your soul records as well. It can also hold all your so if your house has got its own spirit, so you could actually go to the Akashic records for your house, you can go to the Akashic records for a tree, anything that's kind of in our 3D form, really, and beyond. But so you can go and look at past lives, but one of the most powerful things is you can go and look at your limiting beliefs, and you can look at your old soul's contracts and things like that. So when we've journeyed upwards anyway, we're being imprinted by it all the time, because it is actually it is in your DNA, but it also isn't set in stone, because the future is still morphing and everything. Yeah, so it's not kind of like a mental thing, it's purely energetic and subject to those dynamics and changes. But the way people tend to access it is by going and bringing into form actually as a library. That is the way that we tend to go. So we go to upper world, and we'll access this big library, and you will each have your own guides, and they may be in humanoid form. You normally get at least one in humanoid form. I've kind of got 3 that are there, and they vary quite a lot. One's more animally, but it's got humanoid tendencies. One looks much more human, and another one's kind of in between. And they can help you find whatever you're looking for. So the best thing is to actually set an intention. If there's a pattern or something that you wish to work on, is there something you wish to be or rebalance or come into harmony with? And if you don't know what that is, then you can just set an intention to go and see what needs to be released and what needs to be claimed for your highest good. Okay? Now, if you're not a visual person, and it's, we're all different, so some of us can just sense that we're at a library. Somebody else might just want to go and no, I'm just going to see it energetically, and it's going to be colours. If you're very auditory, then you just might have that. You can hear what it's like to be in a library, or you can hear what it's like to be in this space of the Akash. And there are guides there. So there's your guides, but there's also people there to help you. So we'll kind of go up, you'll enter the building, you'll see if there's any signs or symbols that are there for you. And then you will ask your guide to come out and greet you, and they will take you in, and they'll guide you to where your room is or whatever. This is all it's a visualization construct to help you access something that's obviously very esoteric. Okay, so however it looks to you is perfectly fine. So don't get hung up that, well, I didn't see a library, I or this, because if that's how you access it, then trust that. Okay. And then, but normally most people get a sense of books, and you can go and ask for the book to say, right, you know, or you can just ask them to give you what you need to see and open the book. Now, I personally tend to see it written, whatever it is that needs to be released. And then I actually normally get quantums of energy to claim. You know, other people will see, but you can transform in the book what you might see something written, and as you rebalance that, it might come up, you know, you can ask for that to be changed, and it gets rewritten in the book. And you may see that, or you may get a sense of it, or you just might see it all as energies, or you just might get a knowing. Does that all make sort of sense? Yeah. And then you can ask your guides to give you whatever it is that you need to claim and take away with you. Because the reason we're doing this, Matt, is because this lunar eclipse is all around this. It's really about it's massive belief change at this time. So there's this real, and it's quite, I think it's in Cancer, so it's a real strong one that's really almost like belief changes like this, you know, almost just like it's time to shed, it's time to let go, it's time for all. That's why everyone's feeling so emotional. I don't think I've met anyone lately who's not been really feeling emotional at some level, and it's kind of all of this, and we're just into this flipping point. I believe there's something in the Palladian calendar for the end of March as well, but I'll try and remember to update you that next week. So does that all make sense? Any questions? Yes, Cece?
They show you what needs to be released. Are they helping you release it there? Are you releasing it in the, okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, so you might see what needs to be released, but you're going to see it shifting as well. So you might see it in the book being rewritten, or it might be that they give you another book or another, or sometimes it'll be you turn the page and you'll see the new way, because you kind of, it's almost like you're shifting timelines, you're shifting the energy patterns and seeing what's the potential for that shift. But that's where it can be quite good to just trust spirit to go, show me what needs to be shifted now for my highest good and the highest good of all. Because you might be then surprised, but you can go and work on something specific. So if you say, I'm fed up of, I don't know, not earning enough money, what are my money blocks? Or I feel really stuck in life and I want to move, or I've got really bad time management, or you know, I want to shift that, or I feel like I'm always in service and there's no time for me. You know, that's like, you know, like on the giving and receiving thing. Why is it that I'm always really good at giving, but I'm not good at receiving? Because it might be you've got some souls contracts around those, and you can go and see those old souls contracts. So, and it's just about letting them go. Sometimes I will roll the page up. I mean, I'm very much, I'm a conscious witness to it, but sometimes it'll occur, I'll roll the page up and I'll burn it. I burnt a whole book once. It was just like, oh, this just needs to be burnt. And then another time I was working with someone else and we found a really, really old burnt book. and they've tried to burn it before, and it left. They hadn't completely burnt it, and there were some bits left that we needed to see. So, everyone happy with that? I will try and talk loudly when I'm drumming, but I that's why, just because I know the sound isn't great, at least you know kind of what you're doing. So, yeah. And then when we come back with the full intention to pull those changes into our DNA. Which at some level.
Sorry, Emma, I got interrupted. So you were saying something about burning pages. Is that something we're supposed to do, or is that something you were doing on one of your...
I'm just saying I have done it. So I'm just kind of trying to loosen up your minds to go, do whatever occurs to you to do. There are no rules.
Okay, but why would someone burn a page or a book?
So if I've got a contract, so it was on a
Ah,
soul's contract that I no longer. So sometimes in a soul's contract, you might change. I'm just trying to think. Say it's around. I'm trying to think of one where it's two parts, but something. Let's be flip, but I'm going to be a good person, so I never murder anyone again.
mm,
Now, that could be somebody who's been in war, and then between the lifetimes goes, I never ever want to hurt anyone again, so I'm going to be a good person. That's probably not a very good example, is it? But normally it's a so I'm never going to stand up for myself again. There's a better. So I'm going to do this. But I'm never going to stand up for myself. So I, don't ever hurt anybody. And then you might want to keep some of the contract, but you might want to get rid of the second part. I'm not explaining it well because I can't think of a good example. But sometimes you keep the first part of the contract, but you let go of the second, because the second bit, I'm going to be a good person. You want to keep, but you don't want the bit that goes, well, I'm going to restrict myself and kowtow to everybody so that I don't cause harm. I'm going to punish myself just to keep, so I know that I never do wrong again. So, but sometimes, there's some things where you're just like, that contract is just not relevant to my life. I'm just going to burn it. I'm going to rip it up to shreds. I'm going to remove it from the book, or I'm going to transform it into something beautiful. Yeah. Does that make
thank you.
really bad way of
You
explaining
did.
it? Sorry.
No, you explained it beautifully. I got it. Thank you.
So it's weird because when you're in, shamanically doing these things, you're just like, it makes sense. When I try and think of it outside, okay, but just go have fun, and just, we're just going to go visit those Akash and allow that turning over. And if you're not getting anything, just ask your guide. You can ask your guide just for a quantum of energy that will support you at this time, and allow them to infuse that into your body. Yeah. I'm just going to play my bowls now. I feel like I want a bit of bowling. So just take a moment and let everyone just settle down. And just take some nice deep breaths. allow yourself to breathe all the way in. And just hold for a minute so you allow yourself to step outside of space and time. Just allow yourself to pause at both the top of the breath and at the bottom. I'm just going to open space. Hummingbird Hear the call to come home back into your body. Feel the weight of your legs on the chair. The weight of your head on your neck. The way your hands feel on your lap or the arms of the chair. Just notice the way your breath comes in and out of your body, and the rise and fall of your chest. Just so people are aware, it's the top of the hour, just in case I don't know what everyone's got. I don't know what it sounded like on that end, but here it sounded like there was like this male voice quiet kept coming into the... I'm interested to listen to the recording. I was like, wow, and then I'd go quieter to see and it would still be there. It's like, cool. Oh. What were you cold after that, Amber?
I didn't think it was possible, but I think I fell asleep sitting up.
No, but are you cold afterwards?
Just a little bit. I noticed that I was really nice and warm and comfortable, and um, yeah, I felt a little chilly on my arms.
I only ask because the first, it was actually in Sussex when I met Liz, and I spent the whole of that first time freezing cold, and I thought, oh, it's cold, but not everyone was. But what I found since is that sometimes when I get there, it's almost like when the cells detox. I almost get really cold feeling. So I now see it as a real positive to have that slight chilly feeling.
Well, that's awesome. I could use that.
Because it's like that snake shedding the skin. But I had a really, just tell a little story and bore everybody. But I'd gone to stay with my grandmother, and my grandfather had died, and he was like the house super hot, so it was always like going into a sauna whenever I went to stay. And she lived down the road from where we were doing the training, so it was really nice because every time I went I'd go and stay with her for a bit as well. And so I'd gone there for 2 nights, and she'd had this thing about she couldn't stand all that heat, and so she had no heating on at all. And she wandered around just in layers of clothing. And I went into the sort of back room, which was the guest room, and obviously there'd been no heating on in there whatsoever, and it was absolutely freezing, and the mattress was like lying on a block of ice, and it was just and it was so funny because we were doing the south, which is serpent. and snake, which is obviously really cold. And that whole time we were doing that, I was just like, and it sort of suddenly dawned on me, oh, no wonder we're doing that shedding of the skin and the, yeah, so that's just a little amusing story.
That's actually really interesting, and I thank you for sharing that because um, it was like as if I was kind of coming to and then dropping off somewhere. And I remember asking, could you please take me to whatever I need to see or do or know? And then nothing after that until you said it's time to come back. So I still believe that I got just what I needed anyway, but it's interesting because during that whole time I was fine, and then I was chilly. So I got
Yeah, the energetics were, you know, you asked, didn't you? And you may find that you are actually more aware of more than you realise, and little bits might come back to you over time. You might sleep tonight, or you might have something that just sparks over the next few days. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't, because energy doesn't work like that anyway, does it? I sometimes think we're better off not knowing. There's nothing to grip onto then, is there, and keep it anchored. It's changed. Does anyone else want to share anything? No worries if not, because I think everyone's like, ooh. Did everyone go somewhere? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to share anything, Matt? Or just...
Yeah. So there's flashes, but most of them went away, and the only one I remember is a very large room full of people, and I don't know, something happened, and it caused me to move my right hand there, but it I didn't just move it there. I moved it here in the truck as well, and it kind of brought me completely out of it because my right hand just flew across my body to the other side, and I had to get back into it. So that was an interesting thing that happened to it.
That's a really shamanic experience. That's really
Okay.
cool. Yeah, because to actually have it where it's not just happening in that, but it actually forms here in physical.
Hmm.
So that's quite cool to have that happen, I think. It's just
Yeah,
when you're
I
not
have no
used to
idea the
it.
meanings or anything. Yeah.
Do you think it represented a shift of something? It sounds like, because it almost like broke something, is what I feel.
I'm not sure. The last thing I remember is that the room was full of people. Somebody was picked up and they were being carried around, and then my hand moved. And then I was here, truck again.
Did you manage to get back, or did you?
I got back into not there, but into a peaceful place.
Yeah, nice. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll dream about it tonight and get some more insights.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't smack my wife when my hand goes flying around. Umber's already had that experience once upon a time.
several times. I sometimes tell him that he married me to beat me up.
No.
Viv used to do the same thing. Just suddenly, and then I'd be like, it's me, it's not somebody to fight. Oh dear. Liz or Cece, do you want to share, or are you just...
It was a beautiful journey. I was highly representational. Uh, It was like the Taj Mahal, basically, and upstairs and through channels. And my giraffe was there, and I think you were there too, or a woman. Um, and there's a big book, and the nice thing was that all the I just asked, just take release, please. And all the heavy black writing all over the book that I couldn't read just started peeling off, just started going away. And then the book, the big heavy book, just kind of changed. And my book going forward is like it's forming every second. It's like forming as it goes. Well, it's just light and sparkle, and like it's just forming. I mean, it's not like this huge, massive volume. I just ask, take whatever doesn't serve me, please give me energy. I got a quantum of energy, I think, and and help me claim what I need to claim, which I think was like let go of all the structure, all the iron bars were flying away, all the boxes, all the past ancestors, all of that. So it felt I just opened, and just lots of sparkly, very different, very different energy. And at one point they held up a mirror and they said, "We want you to see yourself." And I was this luminous being. I'm still kind of dealing with that. I'm trying to accept that one. But it was, and hopefully they're helping me accept that, trusting that they're helping me accept that. So it was just like all sorts of things going on, but very, and I was listening as well as seeing. I didn't hear the chorus orchestra though, whatever. I want to hear that on the recording. It was very lovely and moving, and felt like it went through it at very deep levels.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I just tried to let go of any kind of expectations, I think. When I got to what you said was going to be the city, there was this extraordinary expanse of like oil, but it wasn't oil, it was like it sort of worked like oil, but it had a luminosity to it, and you kind of walked across it. And then this kind of big black or opening came out. It's like I thought, God, that's even another reality. Anyway, and then went into the library, and an old wizened man with a stick came out, took me by the hand, and then it was so weird. We went to a well. Oh, it was very visual for me. It was so funny, and it was like pulling this thing up from the bottom of the well, like the deepest, darkest well. And when it came up, it was a bucket full of gold coins,
Oh, wow.
which is hilarious. Since me and my money thing. So I went, oh, what's that about? And it's like, well, you'll see. And then, yeah, I think I know there's a lot of darkness in my past somehow, but I don't want to hold on to that. It's like you said, you don't want to know about it. You don't need to know about it. And all I felt was this enormous amounts of stuff being pulled out of me of every single part, and it was very dark, like a dark energy. That's not even the right word, because then that implies judgment. But anyway, and then it was going through a sort of ring, like a tiny ring being pulled through, like you're cleaning something. And then it came back, and it was really shiny and bright, and it's like filling me up. Yeah, because I thought maybe when I was going through a period before I had any kind of shamanic guidance, I remember somehow going up in an absolute rage to this place. I was so angry at what was happening to me. And there was a panel of people there. This was back in the past, not this time. And I was shouting at them, saying, "This is not what I signed up for." Oh, it's so funny because it was horrible. What was happening was so horrible. And And then I suddenly realized, oh my God, maybe that was some kind of representation of these records for me.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice integration. And yeah, and I came back and felt cold.
Yeah, I didn't feel cold, but Emma, how was yours? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, I was kind of tracking everyone a little bit. I was a bit more conscious of that than doing my own,
Mhm.
too much of my own stuff on it. Just because I think because everyone was new to it, I was just kind of making sure everyone would, seemed okay. Um, I haven't actually. So I've got this little guy. He's a funny thing. He's like this. He's got like just a little green round body. I'm not really sure what he is. He almost looks like a cartoon character. He's not, and he's just really, really cute. Um, but he's like a mushroom crossed with a plant. That's yeah. Anyway, because he has sort of like a little red and spotted head thing. So, but anyway, so he came and took my hand, and it was just like so. We were kind of hanging out for a little bit, which was just really nice. And he's just really. The others have normally led, and he's always been there, but I've not had him be the sort of lead guide on it. And a little similar a bit to you, Cece, on the where there was writing and stuff, but because I was also tracking, keeping an eye, I was just kind of I was conscious of it, but then it just was like everything was just disappearing. It wasn't. I've done quite a bit of work lately with some of the Akashic stuff and with old contracts and stuff. So I asked about a couple of areas, which I actually can't remember now, but it occurred to me I would like some clearing. Um, and it's funny you say about gold coins, Liz, because the last two times I've worked on the Akash, the gifts have come, it's like just gold coins, but they're coming down. Oh yeah, and I forget everything. So I did ask for a little bit around my purpose, and I've been trying to work this for a little bit. Is like, what is it that I'm really here to do? And all I keep getting back is that I'm a light. I actually think maybe I just going need to go and be a bulb in someone's house.
Yeah, I would love to do our kind of our exercise together and see what shows up.
But it's kind of I'm like, well, what do we do with that? And then I was thinking, yeah. So I still haven't got to the bottom of that. So I need to go and I probably need a new guide who can show me what it is I'm meant to be doing with that. So it's all I keep getting, and it's what some clients keep saying. And my mentor, who's really ill, when she's like, I don't bother writing too much because you're just the light that I kind of latch into, and I'm just like, there it goes again. What does that mean? So anyway,
Isn't it just like be you?
yeah, probably. But
Emma, you said you were kind of tracking and keeping an eye. Did you get any sense of where or what was happening with me? Because when we started, and that's been there in the last few days, but especially so strong today, there is this massive, like just a very deep, but quiet sadness around my core, like especially around my heart. And that's all gone. It's disappeared. And it was persistent and there. And I didn't think I did anything because, like I said, I just dropped off and nodded off kind of thing. But I noticed that it's not there. I felt for it. And it's kind of it's quiet. The sadness is not there. So just wondering, when you were kind of feeling this out, any sense of anything you got from me?
When I'm tracking, it's more for safety than anything. Are you where you're meant to be? And what it looked like was quite a gentle process for you, though. There was kind of just this, the energy was quite gentle on you, but it looked like it was working at quite a deep level. And I wasn't tracking what, because in some ways that's none of my business in this, if that makes sense. And sometimes if there's meant for something for you to know, I'll see it to say. Yeah, so your energies just looked. There was something about connecting you though through your whole flow. Can I
I
ask,
think now the
do you
emotion that comes up is more just really like the gratitude for whatever it was and how it was, but that deep, heavy, permeating sadness like around my heart, that's kind of just I it's not there right now. That's good.
do you feel not so alone?
Sorry, say that again, please.
So sometimes I see, like I was asking, do you not feel so alone? Do you feel maybe there's more support for you than you realized?
I just feel I feel good. Like it's not even like, oh, I feel good. It's not that. It's just that it just feels, I don't have the right word for it. That's really funny. Um, just connected and okay. I feel okay.
Lovely. Hmm. My heart's got a nice fuzzy feeling now. I was going to say we're all going to sleep well tonight, but you lot are all still in your day, aren't you? I don't know where you're in your day.
Well, given that I feel that I did sleep, I don't think it matters.
I want to look up what time the eclipse is here too.
It's what, sorry?
I want to look up what time the moon eclipse is. So the
Oh,
eclipse
yeah,
is,
yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go and have a see if I suspect it'll be too cloudy here to see anything.
well, it's not cloudy. Well, there's a few clouds, but it's pretty much white. So. And I can see the moon from the balcony of my condo. So when it's a full moon light, the moon is up there. It just comes right down. So I go out those nights in the middle of the night and go, hello.
Oh, so
We'll see. We'll see what that is. This was amazing. And Blades, another time, I'd love any insights you had on mine, but it was.
yeah, like I said, Cece, on the whole, I'm just tracking to
I
make
know.
sure everyone's safe and where they should be, and they've not gone wandering off into some multiverse that.
Yes, that's.
Yeah, I think that was
it's
like
the most important thing. Yeah.
I think that's what I suddenly realised, this big like other kind of opening. I was thinking, I don't think I'm supposed to be going there. And it's like you brought us back in to say, right, here you're in the library now. So it's like, phew.
Yeah, it did look like there'd been some deviance, so that was why I was like looking around for that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But you all know how to get back as well, you know, now it's not like I think what I might, it's been on my mind to do it because I'd actually like to quite record it as a bit of a course, but is actually, I think it's really nice to be able to shamanic journey for yourself,
Mm.
you know, to be able to safely go and right, I'm going to put some drumming on and I'm going to go and do a journey rather than it always having to be guided, you know, because it's not necessary to be guided. The whole point of shamanism really is to empower you to have your own autonomy and your own journey experience. So I was thinking maybe I'd do like a bit of a mini course in how to do that, set it up and blah blah blah, if people would be interested. So,
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
okay.
But and I was very grateful for your guidance getting back because otherwise I think I'd just hung up on there indefinitely. So yeah, this one in particular. So, thank
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's just learning to come back on the drum. So
you.
you learn to hear the call back and then it's anchored really well and stuff like that. So
But I was really grateful because I felt safe. I knew that I didn't have to worry because I knew you were in charge, Emma. So that's something that I'm really grateful for.
Me too.
yeah.
That's interesting. Is when we were going up the tree, um, I'm not really good with heights, and I could see I could kind of see out of the tree and going up really fast, and there was a bit of discomfort there, but then I kind of felt like I was in the tree and I can't possibly fall out of a tree
Mm.
when you're in the tree. So yeah, maybe that had something to do with it. I don't
That's interesting. I'm not great with heights either, but going, when you take a step, I'm like, I'm okay with it. It's like, oh, it's kind of fun.
Oh yeah, I love that, and I love going to Lower World and that you can fly around and
Ooh.
everything. I had a very interesting experience one time, a long time ago, and I was with my bear, but then I became aware that I was watching myself with bear, and that was really weird. It was like, and then and it actually at the time it mapped to, I think, feeling some separation and conflict within myself, um, and then we had to jump up, and Bear and my other self, I watched them jump off the cliff together, and then I was just like, and it was about just this leap of faith, and I can remember being quite, oh gosh, you know, and then I decided I was going to jump off, and then it was almost like I snapped back into being whole again in that moment. It's quite interesting, but you can do really cool shit like go and actually be a tree, you know, and some of these things can naturally happen over time, but you can actually go and say, right, and one of the most profound things, and this I must say, I was following, someone was holding the drum. They weren't guiding, but they were drumming, so they were holding the energy, and I actually did a merge with the earth and I became soil. Well, you slow down so much. I did not want to come out of that. I was just like, this is such bliss. I and I had a bit, when I did my Reiki masters, we did a really deep meditation, and I woke up and I wasn't in my body. I was a crystal, and I was in the crystal on the side, looking at my body on the bed. And that was really cool. And I was just like, oh, I think I'll just stay as a crystal. Because it's so, they don't have all the emotional stuff. There's just, everything's much more structured and grounded. And No. So maybe we'll have to see if we can do some grokking sometime, which is, you know, when you read your crystal books that tell you, oh, this crystal's got these metaphysical properties and blah, blah, blah. That is done through a process called grokking, where you actually merge with the crystal.
Ooh.
And then you say what you're feeling. So you actually speak the voice of the crystal to what the properties are.
That sounds like
That's
fun.
really cool. I actually did that with a group. There's a group of about, must have been 30 or 40 of us, all embodying the same crystals. And then you kind of like, it's good with a big group because then different people do different bits and it sparks, you know, that.
That sounds wonderful. That and the flying and leaping off cliffs and things like that, which I, in a human body, I would be a bit challenged with. Yeah.
Well, anything's possible because it's
Yeah.
energetic, isn't it? And it's like whatever you want to create, you can.
And I think that's part of the wonder and the joy of this, that it's, you know, anything's possible.
Takes you outside the confines of what we think reality is. Anyway, I hope you all continue to feel lovely. Thanks for all the lovely sharing, for going on journey. I think I'm going to listen to that one again and
Please post it. I'm certainly going to listen to it again.
oh yeah, okay.
See who shows up this time.
Yes.
And I was wondering if there's a way to pin the older messages or recordings in the recordings group, because I